All right, Shalom. I want to start by saying, call law, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the Apostle of Israel, aka the Apostle Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Okay, so I think this is actually on a regular uh, Google search engine. I think it was today I came across. Yeah, it was today, and it's from the CBC News, and CB News basically is from what it said it's the largest news platform in Canada, right? So this is in Ottawa. So the title of the article reads, it says, Canada sleepwalking into cashless society, consumer advocate warns. Consumer advocates warn. Sleepwalking into a cashless society. Now, the year is 2024 now. I don't know if it was the year 2022 or 2023, but I know in one of those 2 years during this MX stuff that they started saying that they was going to go lean more towards into the CBDC lifestyle, which is what central bank and digital currency. So digital currency. So that means cashless and not using physical money. And if you look how things have been going throughout the world, especially in America and abroad, there've been what? There's been people using cash less and less and using less actual physical money. Now, so Canada being the country that's right above America, and Canada, I know it has a lot of Amalekites. I know Canada is mostly Esau, but Canada is part of what? Canada is down with NATO and America and all these Edomite countries. You know what I'm saying? I don't know as far as like how much they be speaking on things as far as like world shit goes on, but I know that they're vocal about things. And so yeah. So this is from, see? And it says sleepwalking. So I didn't read it yet, but I'm about to read it, and Lord willing, this be edifying, because basically, this is all part of what? This is all part of the beast system. So it says, Canada sleepwalking into cashless society, consumer advocate warns. Consumer advocates warn. So it's plural. So it says, only about 1 in 10 transactions involve physical money, says recent report. And it says a recent online poll of some 1,500 people commissioned by the Group Payments Canada, by the Group Payments Canada, found that a majority of respondents were worried about the prospect of stores going cashless. So these are regular citizens, because I know how it goes is like people debit cards and credit cards, and like people are like more used to that. But it's a fact of like they're taking it away, that option. And that's probably what a lot of people, like you got older people, you got people such as myself, I prefer to use cash. You know what I'm saying? But it's not the fact that just by not using cash, it's about what you're going to replace it with, because cash and physical money has been a system for ages, okay, but way before America, and it's going to be way after America. You know what I'm saying? But because America's about to be destroyed, but on the verge of America and Esau's kingdom being destroyed, the Lord said what? He was going to bring out a certain system to where he's going to cause people to have to get something inserted into their body. Now, we know that's the MOTB, the Michael C hit, but it's going to be a gradually steps of basically getting rid of this system, which is the system of cash and physical money, and just basically having a digital currency be the whole way of life for transactions from here on out. So it says a consumer group is urgently calling on the federal government to follow other jurisdictions in the U.S. and Europe and bring in legislation to stem the slide toward a cashless society. It says only 10% of transactions in Canada are done using cash, according to Carlos Castiblanco, an economist with the group option Consumer Tours. It says there is a need to protect cash right now before merchants start refusing it. Castiblanco recently told CBC Radio's Ontario Today. Now it's funny because today, being in this 4th of July stuff, they be selling firecrackers, and now that in New Jersey, the state of New Jersey, firecrackers are legal. So I came across one. I forget where I was at. I think I was in somewhere in Somerset County, New Jersey, and they were selling. They usually had vendors being like in empty parking lots, and they'd be selling firecrackers. And basically, what happened was they were saying that they don't accept cash. And it's basically saying that it's going to be like, debit cards or, now people using their phone. And that's another thing, too, how they're gradually getting people to use their phones as far as like being a card. And I remember I came across that years ago because I had lost my debit card. And it was like, when you do online banking, like have the bank app, you could get another card, or like before they send you a physical card, you could use a card on a bank app, and that would be your new debit card until a physical one comes to you in the mail. But now they trying to get rid of all of that, because now it's gonna be a central bank and digital currency. That's Esau's plan. That's his kingdom. That's what his kingdom is about to be. Because right now they've gradually gotten rid of cash because nobody hardly carries cash no more like that. But so the dude said, it says there's a need to protect cash right now before more merchants start refusing it, and a lot of merchants are refusing it, and the merchants and a lot of merchants are not just not refusing it, but they're being forced to not refuse it. Because you think about it, these merchants, when you use your debit card, you get charged. So sometimes some businesses, like small business and whatnot, they prefer you use cash. But then you have like regular chains, like they don't give a fuck what you use. Like you go to Walmart, ShopRite, all these stores, all these big chain stores, they got self checkout. They have car only machines. So remember during this whole emic thing, the small businesses are the ones that took a hit. Those are the ones that complain about being charged when people use their card. Shit. So it says, it's critical to act now, he added, before retailers begin moving all of the infrastructure required to store and maintain physical money. You hear that? It says, it's critical to act now, he added, before retailers begin removing all of the infrastructure required to store and maintain physical money. That's even including banks. Think about it. It says to removing all of the infrastructure required to store and maintain physical money. But what infrastructure would they replace? Be cashless one. And it said retailers, and these retailers are controlled by who? Who owns these retail stores? Amalek, the international bankers, the central bankers. They own all these chains. That's why the small businesses are the ones that's taking the hit. Those are the ones that complain about having to use your card because they get charged for it. But a spot like Walmart and all these retail stores, they're gonna welcome any way the system from the people that's over them bring. So, and it says before removing all infrastructure. So that's mean what? Like cash registers, like actual cash register where you put cash in, like probably like vaults or like safe deposit boxes. All of that stuff to where like physical money is a thing that's what it's for. But remember, they're going more digital. So what's ultimately going to be the next step? The RFID Marco see it. Revelation the 13th chapter. That's the beast. This is the beast system. We just haven't gotten to the actual mark of the beast yet, but it's coming. His system. That's the final play of the beast system is the mark. It says they are already used to dealing with cash. He said so. This is the moment to act before it is more complicated, and it will get more complicated because this is a biblical prophecy. This is the prophecy of the Heavenly Father, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. He said these things are going. He told of these things already, man. This is written aforetime for our learning. The Lord said He declared the end from the beginning. So this is just playing out how the Lord already had it playing out since the very beginning that He had it to go down this way, and we're just living it out. And it says in a report called "Will Cash Be a Thing of the Past?" Option Consumateurs published one of the first deep dives into who is still using coins and paper money. And it says, this is the guy right here. This is the guy, Carlos, whatever, Castablanco. So it says now, it says a solid demand for cash. It says a recent online poll of some 1,500 people commissioned by a different group, Payments Canada, found that a majority of respondents were worried about the prospect of cashless stores and want to maintain the option to use cash. Because people know that people don't. I don't know about Canada, but I know in America a lot of people don't carry cash like that already. But people still have cash and are used to using cash, and it's all about control. And it's like they don't like the fact that you're taking away the option. Because now it's like, all right, well, if people are used to using cash, eventually, if y'all want to bring in this new system, you're going to have to get people already used to not having cash or not using cash. And that's what they're doing in America. Now, I guess in Canada, it might be a little different, but this is going throughout the whole world. That's why that's what's called central banking digital currency. They want to have control over all the transactions, and they want to see all the transactions. And that's Esau's play, That's what the bitch said in one of these economic forum things. He said they want to be able to track every single transaction in the world. Okay. So it says, so it says, found that a majority of respondents were worried about the prospect of the cashless stores and want to maintain the option to use cash. So people are not against cashless, but it's saying that they would still want to have the option to use cash if they like, and that's where the civil unrest and that's where all of the controversy is going to come from, because now it's like you're taking away the option. Okay. It says, which is free from bank fees, isn't susceptible to privacy breaches, and can be used during internet outages. And think about that too. Esau's system, all the digital currency is going to be what? From the internet. The internet is what's going to be the catalyst to have this system go up. So they still going to need the internet, but the internet has glitches. And you got to remember, YAHAWASHI, he could easily fuck up these devil systems, and he will, because he's not going to get this all the way off to the ground, but he's going to try. But all I'm saying is this central bank and digital currency is still part of the internet, because that's the devil World Wide Web. So the internet will have to be used to get this system going. And that's what it just said. So it said, well, what about internet outages? So if you took away the option of using cash, and let's say the system has a fucking breach or as the system gets fucked up, what are people going to do? That's when the RFID microseal comes. But that's like, all right, well, you have it in your body now. So they could always scan it, or they could always, you know what I'm saying? But don't get that mark to the nation of Israel, the Israelites, to the people that's new in the faith, or like don't like know fully like or have heard. But I know that it's been talked about for years, and there's plenty of videos and edification on it. But I'll say it again: do not get the micro C hit, man. The RFID micro C hit, man. That's the mark of the beast pertaining to Revelation 13th chapter, and the judgment for getting it in the 14th chapter, and I believe in the 19th chapter or 20th chapter, where it talks about the ones that got the mark. Because the mark, that's the devil's last leg of prophecy. Well, not the devil's prophecy, but that's the last leg of this Esau's kingdom before he truly goes down. And it says, there's still very solid demand for cash, Sharon Kaziki said. The deputy governor of the Bank of Canada said in a recent interview with CBC. It said the bank closely tracks how money gets used, she said, with the use of cash actually rising at the beginning of the C-19 pandemic. So during the C-19 pandemic, they had a rise at the beginning. It says the rise of the use of cash. And people basically saying that they don't like the fact that you're taking away the option, because that's what this is about. You're taking away options, and like since they control it, that's why he said he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, because you're acquiring it, because that's how the only way people can be able to buy and sell, and that's how this devil's kingdom is. That's the bread and butter of this devil's kingdom, buying and selling. And it says, while that growth has slowed, Kaziki said there's still an overall general increase that suggests people still want it. And it says, even a report commissioned by the Bank of Canada suggests it's time to protect access to money. Because what does that mean? They're controlling people's access to money. Because if you're saying that you want to get rid of cash, period, that means that it could be no secret transactions, no like tax-free transactions, what's the word, unaccounted for transactions. Because when you do it, that's why they start doing all this stuff with the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, having all these virtual transactions, getting the people used to these virtual transactions. Think about it, this is gradually, and people are already used to it. So now if they actually take away the option of cash, people will be kind of susceptible, be like, all right, well, we've been doing this forever, but like it's the fact that people still want the option. That's where the separation is going to be, because like, all right, why y'all taking away the option? Why y'all taking away the cash? It says the report titled "Social Policy Implications for a Less Cash Society." It says recommends legislative action, arguing that cash-based transactions have plummeted from 54% in 2009 to 10% as of 2021. So when 2021 hit, which is a year after what? The C-19 emic started, it said it went from 54% in 2009 to 10% as of 2021. So 10% of cash has been used, is plummeted from 54% to 10%. That's a hell of a plummet. That's a hell of a drop, and it's going to continue to drop. And that's what these central banks, that's what these elites want, because they'll be able to actually track every single transaction. That's the end game. Because there's no health benefits. There's no reason to really do this, except for these fucking motherfuckers at the top want control. But it's ultimately prophecy of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. This is prophecy, and this is how it's prophecy playing out. It says one of its authors, Atfab Ahmad, described who would be most affected by a world with no cash in a recent article on policy options, the online magazine for the Institute for Research on Public Policy. And it says, for many, such as indigenous peoples, unhoused individuals, older Canadians, victims of domestic abuse, and others who are vulnerable, cash is a beacon of economic security, a source of financial anonymity. It says an emergency lifeline and an emblem of cultural traditions. Ahmad wrote, because they think about it. I remember I was watching the last episode of The Power Ghost with the son, and basically with a little spoiler alert, the fucking the daughter and the brother and sister, they were basically like and they were fleeing, and they basically needed cash. And what happened was it was funny because they was at a hotel or motel, and he said something about she had said something about on a bill, but he knew that they didn't have no cash. So I mean, she had used a credit card, and that's actually how a plot of the show actually went down, because the people that was looking for them tracked the card that they used and found out where they were. But anyway, like I said, so victims of it said what? It said what? It said such as indigenous people, and that's Jake. It said unhoused individuals, so people that don't have nowhere to go. It says older Canadians, victims of domestic abuse, and others who are vulnerable. People that are vulnerable. It says cash is a beacon of economic security. And that's what these devils are trying to take away. They're trying to take away economic security. They're trying to take away that your option to move a certain way. Because if you move a certain way that requires cash, you won't be able to move that way if they make cash obsolete. And that's what these devils are about to do. And that's what the prophets of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI have been telling the people for years. It's just now coming into play. That's how we know we at the end. It says, Canada must avoid sleepwalking into a cashless future and instead recognize the risk of exacerbating financial exclusion of those most vulnerable. It said, and oh, here it says now it says other cities, countries taking steps. It says the issue has caught fire outside of Canada, Castablanco said. It said with several jurisdictions beginning to legislate to protect access to cash. So that means that I don't know if this is control what's the word? Opposition. But if these economic people are talking about these countries complaining, trying to protect the access to cash, so that means that they're going against the elite's plans. You know what I'm saying? So what that means that the masses, everybody's not just gonna like just be down with just taking the shit, but like what the elites have done is they've gradually got people using cash less. I remember one time I went to my old job, and it was like my old job. I worked at a dealership, so like the advisors, they all sit in a line. So one time I went there, I went there to poly with them real quick, and I asked them. So I'm like, yo, out of all, I think it was like 8 of them. So I'm like, out of all 8 of y'all, how many of y'all got cash on y'all? And the majority of them said they don't have cash. And the one person that said they did have cash, he said it was very rare. And he said the reason why he had that cash on him, but he said for the most part, I usually don't carry cash. And I think that was prior to 2024. I think it was I think it might have been like 2023. So if they saying that they don't have cash in them, they said the cash transactions have dropped to 10% in 2021 from in 2009 it was 54%. So that means that half of the people already was using debit cards and shit like that, because it's half and half. It's always split. But now people, you think about all this direct deposit stuff, and like I said before, all this stuff with the cash, online shopping, all the stuff you're doing, you making transactions online more than actually hand-to-hand transactions. And that's the devil's kingdom. That's what you're trying to do. That's what you're trying to bring into ultimately. You have this shit put in your hand. So you're going from hand-to-hand transactions to have the transaction in your hand. All right. So continuing on, it says in 2019, Philadelphia became the first city in North America to prohibit a person selling or offering for sale consumer goods or services at retail from refusing to accept cash as form of payment. Hold on. So it says Philadelphia became the first city in North America to prohibit a person selling or offering for sale consumer goods or services at retail from refusing to accept cash as a form of payment. Because you have some people that's actually not accepting cash. Like I said before, just today, shalom, just today, I saw the motherfucker fireworks person, and he said wasn't accepting cash. So this is here. And remember, they said the year 2024 they was going to usher in all of this CBDC more and more. And on top of that, and what did they do in the meantime? All this war shit. This is what they ushering in. This is the elite's plan, but ultimately, it's who's plan? YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. That's the East. YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. That's his plan. It says other U.S. cities, including New York, Seattle, and Los Angeles, have since moved ahead on the issue. And it says in New York, the regulation proposes fines of up to $1,500 with the counselor who sponsored the rules, declaring that a ban on cashless business protects privacy, equity, and consumer choice. So that actually, in New York City, so that's what I'm saying. I don't know if there's like control opposition, like the fucking economics or whatever. The states are doing this on purpose, but when these elites say that no, you have to get rid of cash, they just gonna fall in line. Just like they fall in line just like they did with the fucking sticky stab, with the jab. You had the opposition, but they said what? And even New York City, they was like you couldn't get access into buildings unless you had that shot in you, man. This is going to be the same thing. Now, of course, it's going to be opposition, but at the end of the day, the people that's going to need to, the people that they want to fall in line will, or need to fall in line to get this system going, will fall in line. And it says European countries like Norway, Spain, and Ireland have introduced similar laws. In Ireland, the law requires a cash option as businesses like pharmacies and grocery stores that sell essential products and services. So, and it's funny because Norway just got their shit. They had this shit going because of the war with Russia and Ukraine. They just started stockpiling on grains and shit just in case they talk about for our apocalyptic future. And you got all these countries in the meantime, in the midst of all this, you still got this war going on. And that's what the Lord said: the third woe coming quickly. But in the midst of all that, this devil's going to bring out his mark. And it says, it says we need urgent action now. It says consumer groups in the United Kingdom, such as Payment Choice Alliance, are pushing that country to follow Ireland's model. And Ireland's model was what? Oh, that's you have to require a cash option. And it says, I think that we need urgent action now. The Alliance spokesperson Ron Del Naval told Ontario today. It said the group is calling for new rules in the UK by the end of 2025. By the end of 2025, we're not even at the end of 2024 yet. But what's happening all in the meantime of all of this? This war shit's still going. All this war shit. This is why this is all biblical prophet. It's all playing out how Yahweh set it up from the very beginning. And remember, the Lord said, "What? This is all His plan. Who shall stay His hand?" You can't stop this. You can't stop this war, and you can't stop this system, no matter how much you oppose it. See, we as the prophets of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, we're just speaking on the prophecy that is coming to pass. And we jump off the train when these devils bring out that chip, and that's coming soon. Because obviously, look what's going on now. Cashless society here, cashless society there. They're getting cashless. They talk about CBDC. And it says, we feel it goes beyond that. There will be so many businesses not accepting cash, Devano said. Cash will be so difficult to access that the whole cash-based system will fall down. See, it's not a matter of people going to accept it. It's going to be a matter. They can just take the cash away. We don't know how these devils will actually do it, but you can save cash, but if the cash is not being accepted, see, that's why he's trying to say to keep the option. But he's talking about the access to the actual cash because people don't even have that much cash on them now. Think about it. They said people don't have like $1,000 or something $1,000 in their actual savings. Like they go to a bank. But let's say when they take the cash from the banks and you go to an ATM and they're like, oh, there's no cash in here. They take away the access as well. Not just the option if you have cash, but they take the access of cash away. Remember, this devil did a diligent. This devil he was fucking real devious with it, man. What they say, this chess 3 moves ahead. And I'll read that again. So it says, We feel it goes, and this is the Ron Del Neville, spokesperson for the UK consumer group Payment Choice Alliance. He says, we feel it goes beyond that there will be so many businesses not accepting cash, Del Neville said. It says cash will be so difficult to access that the whole cash-based system will fall down. So the actual access of cash. And we all know that nobody has an influx access to no cash. Okay? It says, Delvano said Canadians can take a lesson on the power of consumer action in his country. It says MPs in our parliament have been inundated with mail from the public, and they are reacting to that, he said. It says, so don't let the politicians put their hands over their ears and not listen. Tell them what you want. But who do these politicians, if the politicians are bought and paid for by the elites? It don't matter if you fucking how many letters you write to them or how much you complain to them, man. These politicians are already told what to do. They already told what to do for future references, for future events. They're bought and paid for, and they just come out and they say what the elites want them to do. And that was pretty much on that. So might as well get the scripture, because this is all leading up to the MOTB, the Charagma. So we're gonna go to the book of Revelation. Oops. Chapter 13, verse 16. And it reads, and it says, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And it says, and he, who is the he? Esau, Edom, these devils, the elites. But no, roughly it's all Esau, they're all Edomites. So it says he, and he calls them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, right? So right now, this is not the MOTB they're bringing out, but it's, they're ushering it in. It's gradualism. They're gradually getting to that. Because then first they got to take away the cash. Global reset. Take away the cash. Take away the access to cash. Take away the businesses accepting cash. Because you can have a small business that accept cash all they want. But at the end of the day, how they going to pay their bills? You got to remember, he said both calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor. That no, it says in the verse 17, it says that no man might buy or sell. So you can't make money or you can't spend money. That's why he said that Esau's getting on both sides. No man can buy. He said no man can buy, and so he calls it all, both small and great. Verse 16 of Revelation 13, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And it says that no man, verse 17, it says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is the wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. It says, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and 6. 603 score and 6. 3 scores is 60. 666. 666. Who do you talk about? Satan's number, 666. When people think about the number 666, you think about who? The devil. And who is the devil? Who's the devil's counterpart on the earth? Who's Satan's counterpart? Who's the adversary? Who's the adversary to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI? Esau. Satan's human counterpart. Just like Israel's the righteous God human counterpart. I mean, yeah, even though that the Lord created evil too, but like it's the left-handed side. And this is his system, and he's ruling. That's why it says, that's why when you go to 2nd Esdras 13, oh, excuse me, not 13, I'm bugging. 2nd Esdras, when you go to 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 7, it says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time? Now this is Esdras talking to the angel Uriel. And it says, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth, right? So he's saying, what shall be the end of the first? Then the first what? The first, the current, the one, the rulership before Jacob's kingdom, because Esdras was an Israelite. Check it. And it says, and he said unto him, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, right? So he's asking, so what should be the sign of the end of the beginning of, and the one of to follow it, right? And he says, verse 9, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau is ruling now. These so-called white people, the white race, the so-called Caucasian race, the central banking family, the elites, the banking structure of this fucking earth, Job 9:21, for the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. But who is the wicked? Who is the wicked seed? Who are the wicked people on the earth? Esau, Edom. Who are the people of his curse? Esau, Edom. Those are the people that's ruling right now. Because look what's happening. Since he's been ruling, wickedness has exceeded in the earth. As of the king is, so are the people going to have. What are people going to be? People are waxing worse and worse in wickedness. Because these devils are allowing and pushing more wickedness. Just look at all the transmission shit. Crime. It's never probably been so much crime on the earth since these devils been on the scene ruling. So he said, so when Esdras asked, so he said, so when you read 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 7 and jump to 9, so it says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time? So remember, precept upon precept, line upon line. So you take those two lines of 2nd Esdras 6 and 7, it says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows? So the first what? So he's talking about the first world before the next everlasting kingdom world, which is YAHAWASHI's kingdom. And he said, when you jump to verse 9, he says, for Esau is the end of the world. So when Esau gained the rulership, so Esau wasn't ruling at that time. This is before Esau even got his kingdom. And this goes all the way back to Genesis, the blessing for Jacob and Esau. So he says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So that should be the end. That should be the parting asunder of the times when Esau is in rule. Esau the under the world, and Jacob the beginning of it that followeth. Now that the Lord has his prophets, the Lord has his name back on the earth, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, and he's about to destroy America and these devils. And he's going to have these devils they're going to bring out their plan, bring out their system, but the Lord is going to stop them in their tracks. Because for one, everybody's not going to get it. So he's always going, like, these devils are always going to have opposition. And then they get opposition from their own people. And this is what's coming. But look, there's a judgment to get that mark though, right? So when you go into Revelation chapter 14, I believe is what, verse 8? Okay, now, yeah, well, it actually starts in verse 9, but I'm going to read verse 8. So this is Revelation chapter 14, verse 8, and it reads, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, and that great city is America. That's the daughter of Babylon. That great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. That's what America has done. That's what America did. Throughout this whole existence of America, that's what they were doing, imposing their will on all the other countries in the world, all other people in the world that got the nation drunk. And they did it with what? That dollar bill. They did it with their money system. And now they're about to change the money system to where they're going to take away cash. And they're going to bring this mark. In verse 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Verse 10, that same people shall drink of the wine of the wrath of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. That fire, that nuclear fire, along with YAHAWASHI's fire. And it says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, who is who? YAHAWASHI. The one who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. You're going to burn in front of him, man. And they will never tell you this in the churches. The churches told people to fucking get the sticky stab. They're going to tell people to get this mark, man. That's what's about to go down. This is what's happening. So as time goes on, as the days go on, we're getting closer to this. So not only getting close to the mark, but as soon after the judgment for getting it, you're going to get thrown in, you're going to get burnt the hell up. That's the judgment from YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI to the people that get that mark in them. That's why you have to pray for strength and pray for the increase of faith continually, man. Because it's gonna get hard for even brothers in the truth. From the top on down. But we must what? Maintain faith. Because we knew of these things. We knew of these things already. So that's why the Lord said, hold on to your faith. Pray for faith. Prayer. Holy conversation. Staying in the spirit of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Not worrying about other shit else. Ain't nothing else to worry about. This shit is over. If they talk about Canada's coming to Canada, that's right above America. You got Americans that hardly use cash. So people, they're already in line and they're already like actually mentally used to it already. And but so long, they gonna take away the option. And people just gonna fall in line, just like they did with the fucking sticky stat, man. People got that shit, and people didn't. And I know plenty of people that didn't want to get that shit and still got it because once they started threatening your job. So if he calls up almost one, he's talking about for buying and selling, nothing else. That's it. So that's where we at right now. So, with that, Lord willing is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Shalom to all watching. Shalom. And we almost out of here. Keep watching. It's going to get more and more cashless, get more and more bloody with this war, crime, evil, all that shit, man. It's going to get just worse and worse, man. So, with that, I'm going to say shalom. But, what? Keep Yahawah BAHASHAM, prayer. Keep Yahawah BAHASHAM, prayer and fasting, man. Keeping this number one priority in your mind and in your inward parts, man. Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, those names. That's the strong tower. So with that, I'm saying shalom.